Premier Li has now met with his Russian counterpart Dmitry Medvedev in Moscow. Premier Li Keqiang's visit to Russia. Premier Li has now met with his Russian counterpart Dmitry Medvedev in Moscow. The two are expected to talk about a wide range of topics. According to Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Igor Mogilov, the two sides are set to sign a host of deals, including the supplies of natural gas to China, high-speed railway, nuclear power, and tourism. And Premier Li will also met on Monday with the chairman of the Russian State Duma. Earlier in the day, he visited and laid a wreath of flowers at Russia's Cemetery of Anonymous Martyrs. The cemetery outside the Kremlin honors those who lost their lives during the Second World War. And now for more on Premier Li Keqiang's visit to Russia, we're now joined by our correspondent Tom Barton, who is now live in Moscow. Well, Tom, there are some 50 agreements that are expected to be signed between the two sides. That's quite comprehensive, covering a lot. Tell us more.
The main of those agreements concerns details surrounding a gas supply deal that was signed back in May. That deal, heralded at the time as a great business coup, and it involves around 38 billion cubic meters of gas to be supplied annually to Russia, starting in about 2019, if the progress of the pipe construction goes to plan. There are some analysts that say there are still problems as the two sides don't see eye to eye on the price there, but there will be more talks about that. We've also got agreements about nuclear power, communications and tourism, and also the potential for China to invest in a high-speed rail project connecting two Russian cities.
Provinces to host the 27th Conference of World Fellowship of Buddhists, which is to open on Thursday. Shanxi is a traditional center for learning for the faith. Our reporter Han Bin went to the Famen Temple where the opening ceremony will be held, and there he found believers are trying to protect the faith and its temples from the perceived negative aspects of commercialization.
An ancient Buddhist ritual thriving for hundreds of years. The ceremony is one of the 3 pure precepts assemblies. The assemblies are key to becoming a qualified monk. Master Xue Cheng says the rituals have been unchanged throughout the years, but the significance of keeping the precepts goes beyond the process.
Passing the 3 pure precepts assemblies takes a month. It's a chance for them to study the precepts and learn from each other, so as to cultivate their Buddhist minds.
The monks come from various temples across China. 21-year-old Chuan Miao was ordained in 2012. He gave up much for a life that's much simpler. But Chuan Miao says it's all worth it, and Buddhism has given him a way to achieve true happiness.
People are never satisfied because they always want to grasp something which is changing, but the teachings of Buddha can help get rid of anxieties.
Chuan Miao told us the chanting has 2 purposes: to show the utmost respect for Buddha and to confess all sins. The ceremony marks a new start in life. Today, most of China's temples function as tourist sites. But many Buddhists say religion isn't only about burning incense and praying for blessings.
Buddhism has long been one of the most influential religions in China. There are over 100 million believers nationwide, but its traditional values are being challenged by urbanization and commercialization. One of the biggest challenges is how to promote Buddhism given the demands of modern society and people.
Master Xue Cheng says temples should be vigilant against crossing moral lines. There's an urgency to keep the virtues of Buddhism and ensure its healthy development.
Religious sites face capital temptations to certain degrees in many places. So it's important to keep the Buddhist precepts by knowing what can be done and what cannot.
The country's Buddhist circles now arrange only a dozen such rituals each day. For these monks, being accredited is a dream come true. But their path to enlightenment may well prove to be never-ending. Han Bin, CCTV, from Famen Temple in Shanxi Province.